vlog, my I Am path, or path of the dragon, you might call it, the purpose journey. Um, Hopefully one day that will be a book you'll be reading by Victor Ordo. And this is the question in Full-Time Purpose, the Conscious Business Accelerate course that I've been doing. We asked ourselves, so it, as part of this, we had to identify which one of these different phases, which comes from another book, and I forget the name of that book now. I will add it into our like of reframing where I am. So, but the different areas. Obviously, you might have seen my first video about when I first felt the calling, the nudge, the guide, the dark night of the soul, the clarity, the purpose, which is where I feel I am, the acceleration, the expansion, and the manifestation. Which are we here? But I wanted a journal on each of these areas and remember what it was like. So if you're in any of these areas that you might feel like, oh, actually, yeah, I get that. That's where I'm at. So to move you into or push you through as a guide and as a reference in my own journey. So and also to nudge myself in, like, we're always, I believe, in different parts of this on our own journey. So this video is me answering about the nudge. So where I was when I heard the nudge. So this is the life starts to push you towards your purpose, through challenges, through dissatisfaction, major shifts, like external forces are forcing you or shoving you forward. Lots of people, you hear them talking about when they're telling about their journey and their story, they're in corporate jobs and they realise that the whole their dissatisfaction bit would come up. Others, it's the challenges. But I found it hard to think, well, when was this? It was very clear at 11 years old for me, the calling. It was there from the beginning. But the nudge was more through my life. So again, I see moments where I felt the nudge. For example, when I first left school, my neighbour worked for Carlton Television, actually, back in the day. So I'm talking many, many moons ago, in their finance department. And I started working in their finance department there. And I had a job, I had money straight away. It just fell in my lap. This was regular money of my own. And I was travelling up to London every day. I loved that. I loved reading books on the train, on the train, on the coach. And I liked what I did. I liked the people I worked with. It was me, it was an admin job, but it wasn't where my passion was. I had got an A in art at school and I'd wanted to go to college. So the nudge was not to stay there. And I often think, like, if you could see parallel lives of, like, maybe the kind of ideal of what a lot of people want, I had it then and there. And straight away, so this was the nudge, that's when I felt it. Money was not enough for me. I knew I wanted to go to college and I wanted to study art at the time. I knew I had to do something creative, that wasn't for me. So I walked away from that. I remember one of the ladies in the office, and I can't remember her name, to be honest. But I remember her said, this is a job for life. This is accountancy. This is like good money as well. And okay, you're at the bottom now, but you will work your way up. And this is set for life money. And where we were, it's easy access even for the travelling, and we were smack. And I often think I took it for granted in some ways. Working right near Covent Garden, I would they'd be filming something every week, and I'd be like, God, I just want to get to the supermarket to get my lunch and back again. So the funny side of that. So yeah, that was a nudge moment. Just walking away from that. Again, later on at college, when I had the nudge again. I obviously was going for courses to do with art, wanting to go down this and pursuing art. um I kept trying to think about what other people, even though I was doing that, there was another part of me that wanted to be the good daughter, that wanted to like get employment, that go for the graphics things where I could make money. I could hear people saying to me, you know, artists don't make money, and it's that all of those old stories about poverty-striven artists that never make it famous until they're dead, you know, all of that. So I kept taking other routes that were creative but weren't quite what I needed to do, and it not being right. But all of that was a journey in, and everything I've learned, I wouldn't take back my degree from my art degrees, my BTECs, and I worked my way up, and did textiles and stuff, because thinking I wanted to do it for interiors, because I loved interiors as well. And I remember one of my tutors, she said, no, you've got, we were trying to do something. She said, you're just, because there's part of you that is this desire to be an artist, you've just got to do that. She said, because you're trying to do that and fit it into this, that square, round peg, square hole scenario. And I did that a lot. I kind of made it into textile art more than I did anything at the time, but it wasn't so much the art, it was about expressing, inspiring. It when I look back now, after all these little nudges and these little guides, I have always been guided by that calling, and nudged in the right direction. And every chapter of my life, my college, learning about creating, to look at the world through the eyes of an artist, is part of me, integrated into me. But there was a time I remember our tutors actually saying, you start to look at, and I say, you look at the ground in the autumn, the way the print designer was sort of saying how the leaves have printed themselves, and you get these like prints on the pavement. And we were looking at that and stylizing that, and you look at that, you stylize that around you, you design it, you see the elements of things as an artist, and as we're learning those things, but we naturally do them in our life. And creating covers so much in what I do now, and inspiring is part of that, wanting to create something to inspire and to invoke emotions. And what do emotions do? They are the set point for our frequency. So that's what that's about. The nudge, to me, challenges came up within this area and still are, certainly when on my path to where I have kind of been directed. One of the big nudges was, I'd always wanted to go to Hay House I Can Do It conference, and I went back in 2018, I think it was. Yeah, might have been yeah, I'm sure it was around 2018. And that's when I launched my Facebook page, Love Authentic Me. That's when I started to move towards doing vision board workshops, running a business, doing workshops, selling my artwork. I think even a little bit before that, yeah, actually that was probably, that was a later stage. Actually, even wind it back a little bit, while I was pregnant, I was going to, I started going to art fairs. I joined Maidstone Visual Artist Network, and we used to meet every first Saturday of the month. We do it in Zoom now, and it's a lot smaller, but I kind of moved away from that, and the being, because I associated it, I guess, with the struggling artist. But these little nudges of keep creating, no matter whether I was making a homemade bed cover, or a painting of light language that's channeled, or photography where I'd go out on walks and I'd photograph things. So I've always said, yes, actually, I still see myself as an artist. What I am creating, whether I'm using a camera, a video, a paintbrush, a pencil, or a pen, they're just a tool for me to express and create and to, or manifest, which means party with the hands. So that's always been my nudge. The need to do that has always been there as a calling on one level, but major shifts pushing me were my life and the different chapters in my life. And even more so, it's still happening. I still get those nudges of, you need to, like, it'll be things like create a 30-day challenge for observing and connect. When that came through as a download, a friend had lost someone, and I knew I had to, I kind of, although it's not specifically for grief, it is in a way to allow every day for you to have the time to do that. But that in itself was, right, you've got to do this, you've got to create that space, for that sacred space for the allowing of someone to do that and facilitating that for people. In creating my packs, which I've enjoyed doing and I'm still tinkering with, that call is really strong to, this is something that if people can't attend the workshops, then they've got this to follow. They can do this on a regular basis, and utilize that. And in creating the meditations and the library that I've created, which is on this YouTube channel, there's 250 videos, I think, last time I checked, that's there in those activations, in those guided meditations, that little mini retreats that you can do every week. So that was my nudges, not major like life or death things, just a gentle, steady, probably moving into the next one really, but I'll do that as a separate video.